Mr. Shahkar again, Shaheen Shahkar, and I am here to talk about absolute value, inequalities, because we're taking our inequalities, and we're taking our absolute value, putting them together, pumped about that. Let's do this. So, the idea is that when I work with absolute value, inequalities, first of all, we knew that the absolute value of, let's say, if x is equal to 5, then possible answers and possible values for x were, x could be either 5 or negative 5, because the idea is that it is the distance from 0. So in converting it from an equality to an inequality, I can go ahead and say if x is less, the absolute value of x is less than 5, then I can go ahead and rewrite this as the value of x is less than 5, or the value of x is greater than negative 5. Notice this. I've flipped my sign and flipped the value of my whole number here, okay? But it doesn't necessarily have to be a whole number. I could have had fractions and decimals or pi or whatever. But the idea is that I flip my sign and all of a sudden this goes from being a positive to a negative. And so then I can go ahead and graph this. You're like, graph it? And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to graph this. So I have 0, I've got 5, I've got negative 5, and if I'm going to go ahead and graph this, I see that it is x is less than 5. So here I am, I'm at less than 5, and it's not less than or equal to, so I got the open circle. Open circle. Okay? So it is x is everything less than 5. Hi-ya! And then I also have x is everything greater than negative 5. So here I have negative 5 and everything greater. Hi-ya! So this is how I would value, how I would go ahead and graph that out. And notice, it's just a really basic thing, but if I have an absolute value and it is less, and this is the isolated absolute value, so I've got nothing on the sides of it, so I'm just down to the basic absolute value, and it's less than whatever's over here, then you're going to end up with a and statement. They're going to be coming in at each other. It's an and statement. Ha! So let's go ahead and let's do another one. And you're all like, what? Let's do another one? Yeah, let's do like 20 more. And I'm like, yeah, hoo-ha! Ooh. So let's go ahead and try one where I'm like, x is greater than 7? I don't know. Let's do that. All right. And let's even be crazy right now, and I'll say 1/2 x is greater than 7. Okay. So the idea is that first of all, I have to go ahead and isolate my absolute value. So the way that I do that, the first thing I would do is I'd multiply by the reciprocal of this, and so I'd be like multiplying times 2 over 1 times 2 over 1, and be like booyaka-cha! Okay, and I'd end up with the absolute value of x now is greater than 7 times 2 is 14. So then I go ahead and I'd go to graph this out. I'm like, boom! And I hope you can see this because that is a very light pen, so I'm going to switch that out. Okay, again, pen pocket. All right, so here we go. I got 0. I got a 14 over here. But the idea is that the values of x are x is greater than 14 or x is less than, flip that sign and flip the value, negative 14. Kya! Alright? So let's go ahead and see what this is like when I had the absolute value is greater than this number over here. So let me see. And it's open circles again because it's not greater than or equal to, it's just greater than. So it doesn't include these numbers. So the idea is that x is greater than 14. So over here I'm like, boo, everything greater. And x is less than negative 14. Boo, everything less. So in this case, when I have the absolute value is greater than the number over here, then I'm going to do the dance of the or statement. So the or statements go out, okay? And if you want to see more of that video, I don't know, you can go ahead and splice that and then just go put it in slow motion. Like, so I guess that's just what, I don't know what I'm looking at over there. So moving on, I could show you something awesome and you'd be like, yeah, please do. And I'd be like, let's do this. And I could say, what about if we had a super easy one, like 2/5 times the absolute value of x plus 8 plus 4 is, let's go less than 6. That's a 4. Hiya. So let's go ahead and do this. Step 1. I hope we all know that step 1 would be to go ahead and subtract 4. Okay? So I can go ahead and subtract 4. Subtract 4. That cancels out. And I'm left with 2/5. Absolute value of x plus 8, okay, is less than 2. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I have to multiply by the reciprocal. Amen. And here I go. Times 5/2. These cancel out. And I'm at the absolute value of x plus 8 now is, and let's go ahead and I could cross cancel stuff. That's not really important. You can think of it like 2 times 5 is 10, divided by 2 is 5, or you could have cross-canceled stuff and you would have ended up with 5 over 1, which is 5. So either way, you're ending up with 5. So now I have the absolute value of x plus 8 is less than 5. This being the case, I need to go ahead and rewrite it as x plus 8 is less than 5, and x plus 8 is greater than what? What? Negative 5. That is the truth. So then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to graph this out. I'm going to graph this out. So, before I graph that out, I got to subtract 8. So, sorry about the noises, but that's just the noises of mathematics that happen in my head, because that's, anyway, don't judge me. And I'm at negative 3, and then I'm at x is, this cancels out, and I'm at 13. So I'm at x is greater than negative 13. To graph this out, I would go ahead, I need a 0, and I've got two negatives. So obviously negative 3 and negative 13 seems legit. Okay, so then I go ahead to graph it, and I'm all like, x is less than negative 3, all right? And so I'm all like, let's, you know what, let's be crazy, and let's just go back and pretend that these were all less than or equal to, because I haven't done the equal to ones yet. So that would be like me filling in the circle, because it does include it now. All right, and so I'm like, everything less than, x is everything less than negative 3, but in this case, x is everything greater than, or equal to, negative 13. So I'm like, and then I'm going to go ahead and graph this way. And again, I have an and statement. So this is me graphing absolute value inequalities. I hope that's helpful, and I hope you have a great day. And me and Mr. Unicorn on a pole wish you the best. So have a good one. Awesome, thanks.